we have a special holiday-themed version of cultural or regional. Let's go! The first question that we have for the special holiday edition of Cultural Regional comes from Instagram, and it is from Marcel Mosley, and they want to know, is Christmas caroling cultural? Jalen Rose, is Christmas caroling cultural?
Marcel trying to get me turned up during the holiday season. This is 1,000% cultural.
Agreed.
No question about it.
Agreed.
I grew up in a neighborhood, first off, where I was like, it's Christmas time. I see people trying to carry trees and trying to have lights on them and trying to put gifts underneath them and on their grind to do whatever they could to take care of themselves and their loved ones. And it's freezing outside. Ain't no way we're about to be walking door to door singing Christmas songs for nobody else's pleasure. Not gonna be able to do it.
Yes, Christmas caroling is definitely cultural. Moving on to the next one. This also comes from Instagram. This is from Leland Wellington. Leland wants to know, leaving out milk and cookies for Santa and carrots for the reindeer, is that cultural or regional? I think everybody does that, right? Doesn't everybody leave out milk and cookies? Doesn't everybody do that?
That's universal, international.
Yes,
That's
yes.
grandfather in the lore of Christmas morning. Now, that's for the milk and cookies. We ain't do the carrots. Did you?
Nah, we didn't do the carrots either, but we do the carrots now. I think the carrots might be it might be generational. I think the carrots kind of got added to the tradition. But one thing we're gonna do this year is we're gonna make our own cookies. No store-bought cookies for Santa. You gotta make the cookies for Santa. You gotta make them. Moving on, the next one also comes from Will on Instagram, and this question is interesting. Is opening presents before Christmas Day cultural? Jalen, did you get one present or maybe two presents before Christmas Day? Any presents before Christmas in your home?
I did not per se. I work with a couple of fine agencies in CAA and Rock Nation. They sent Molly and I gifts. Kayla Johnson sent some Garrett's popcorn. I was really grateful of that. Ate half of the tub soon as I got it. Didn't share it with anyone. Watched NBA basketball. But for the most part, no. Usually I'm the gift giver. And then I give for people to give gifts to other people. And then I realize I'm not really receiving gifts in return. So I definitely don't really have any to open before Christmas.
Well, you're definitely not getting a gift from me. And I would say that I don't think this is cultural or regional. This doesn't really happen. I don't think people really open presents before Christmas Day. And if you do, good for you. Moving on. This is from Twitter, from Steve. Elf on the Shelf, cultural or regional? I never did Elf on the Shelf, but now I have kids and I do Elf on the Shelf because you know what? They're scared of that little guy. They're scared of that little elf. Anytime they start acting up, I point right at the elf. I'm like, you see Thomas over there? Thomas is watching y'all. And every night he goes back and reports to Santa. So you better stop screaming and hitting your sister. Is Elf on the Shelf cultural? I like that a lot.
That frame of reference of almost like it's an angel in the room that's always watching for Santa. I like that thought process, but that still make it cultural.
I think it's cultural.
That still make it cultural.
You know what? If you got kids, the Elf on the Shelf works. The Elf on the Shelf works. They're scared of that little guy. They're more scared of that tiny little elf on the shelf than they are of me. And that says something about who I am as a parent. Moving on. This one is from Instagram, and it is an interesting. Cultural regional, house has to be clean before Christmas presents can be opened. I look like Jalen, and growing up, the house had to be spotless before one present can be opened. Jalen Rose, cleaning the house before opening presents, cultural or regional?
A cultural boss move. Here's what that is. So let me get this right. I've been working 40 plus hours to try to make sure that my kids have something underneath the tree. You talked about the Santa elf. We talked about reindeer. We talked about leaving out milk and cookies, leaving out carrots for reindeer. We're doing all of this for everybody except the people that bought the presents to put them underneath the tree. And one of the things I ask you to do all of the time, every day, every week, every month, every year, is to clean up after yourself and clean your room. Yep. So we're gonna clean up this house before we open up any of these presents. Because like you going to Thanksgiving at a restaurant, I'm not trying to be stuck cleaning up after you just opened up all of your presents.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it is cultural. I never had to clean the house before opening presents, but we definitely every single year have a big, huge trash bag for all the wrapping paper in the boxes. You got to have that big trash bag on deck when you open up the presents because we can't have ribbons and wrapping paper and boxes all over the house. There's gonna be enough mess with all the toys. We don't need that. You got to. This has got to be every house has to have a gigantic trash bag right next on deck
Universal.
when they're opening presents. That's universal. Moving on, the next one is from Twitter. Fruitcakes. Cultural or regional? Definitely cultural. Definitely cultural.
Cultural. Culture.
We had
culture.
I remember
no doubt about it.
My grandma and grandfather used to send us a fruitcake every year. Every single year. It would come in this tin, this like circular tin. We would open it up and be like, oh, good, we got fruitcake. We got fruitcake. My mom would cut a slice. We'd be so excited for it. We would have that first bite and be like, what is this? What is this? It was like fruit museum. It was like old fruits frozen in time, covered in sugar, and it tasted awful. We never even finished. I would have one bite. I'd be like, I'm good. I'm good about that. The tin looks good. That thing would still be in the fridge in like March. No one's eating that fruitcake. Fruitcake's cultural. What do you think, Jay?
I just let you cook all the way on that because I can't add anything to that great analysis. You called it nasty. You said it came in the tin. It's 1,000% cultural.
I love this one. This one's from Twitter as well, from Michael. This one I love. I've done this before. Cultural, regional, wearing your white sneakers in the snow to clean them. I'm going to say regional because you can only do that in the snow, and I've definitely done this before.
That's no doubt being regional, but it's also lazy. As somebody that used to line up his shoes and clean the shoestrings with a toothbrush and soap, pick and choose which ones could go into the washing machine or not. And by the way, moms did not like opening up the washing machine. There was just a pair of shoes in there. That's like wasting a load in her mind. She used to go off on me about doing that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.